If you've been dreaming of an organized craft room, this video is for you. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and it's that time of year when we are setting goals. And I know one of my first ones each and every year is to get organized, to refresh the space around me. And for me, that means this craft studio. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through 10 simple steps to help you refresh and reset your space for the new year. A wonderful way to kick off your creative year. Now, these steps are simple. They're customizable, whether you have a big space, a small space, or somewhere in between. Let's work through. Let's get my studio in order and hopefully share some tips and tricks along the way for you all to work through your space as well. Step one to refreshing your craft room is to actually clear the space. During the holiday season, all of the things end up in the craft room. You may have been wrapping here. You may have been collecting and or hiding presents. Maybe you were creating Christmas cards or holiday cards. It's time to clear the space and put things away. It seems like a logical first step, but I find that a lot of people like to skip over this step. They just want to jump into organizing when the first thing you have to do is actually put the things away where you have them going in the moment. If you find things that are laying around your craft room that maybe do not have a space right now, maybe they are new Christmas presents, things like that, gather them all into one space, one table, get them organized within that space so that you can then evaluate where they should go. But the first things first, start putting things where they belong. This is also an excellent opportunity to throw away literal trash that is probably hanging out within your craft space. It's so funny because I so often work with paper and things like that, that sometimes things that are crafts actually look like trash and some things that are actual trash were crafts. It all gets mixed up. So take some time, figure out what needs to get thrown away, what needs to stay, throw things away, clear things out. Don't get caught up in this step. Don't start organizing. Don't start moving things around. Don't start doing anything else except actually clearing the surfaces of the room, making sure that you can see what you have, and getting ever so slightly cleaned up. Take the time to clear surfaces, identify clutter, and remove items so that you can start with a blank slate as you try to look at your craft room with fresh eyes, with new eyes to create a new feeling for this year. All right, step number 2 may overlap with step number 1, but it is an important step that you're going to need to work through, especially when you've identified those places of clutter as you've tried to clear surfaces in step 1. Step 2 is all about sorting and categorizing your supplies. Sort through what do you have and what categories would it go in. Think broader categories. We often make the mistake of getting too specific too quickly. Categorize things under the different hobbies that you do. Perhaps you do scrapbooking, perhaps you do knitting, perhaps you do beadwork, broader categories like that. Under some categories, you're going to have things that overlap. For instance, if you're a paper crafter, you have planner supplies that may overlap with journaling and or scrapbooking. Do the best you can to sort like supplies together and sort hobbies together. That's going to help the organization and the flow of your room, and it's going to give you a better idea of what storage you're going to need in the future. Don't start storing things at this point. At this point, what you need to do is do that sorting, write out those categories, and give yourself an idea of what you have to work with. All right, step 3 may be the hardest step, but I know you can do it. Just make quick decisions. Throughout the year, our craft spaces tend to just gather all the things. And I feel like the month of December is perhaps the worst for just collecting a ton of supplies. It's time to go through, make some quick decisions, and get rid of the excess in your space. You don't want to come into 2025 feeling weighed down by craft supplies that you do not intend to use. So take some time. It may just be a matter of boxing them up and putting them away. Maybe you're not destashing, maybe you're not getting rid of them, but you don't need them in your space right now. Get rid of the excess and leave only the things that you are intending to begin to create with in this coming year. All right, for the next step, you have cleared, you have sorted, you have purged. It's time to do some actual cleaning. You need to take some time to wipe down the surfaces of your space. No matter the size of your space, take some time, do some dusting, get a cloth, wipe things down. This serves two purposes. First of all, I don't know about you, but my craft room is probably the least cleaned room of my entire house. It is a room that is often so busy that I don't get to do the actual cleaning. So A, it just needs cleaning. And B, this is going to help you kind of discover those things that you have left out on the surfaces. I know I already said to clear the space, but you get so used to looking at certain things that perhaps you forget that that actually doesn't belong there. So taking the time to move things around, to clear it out is going to go a long way to organizing your space in the future. Plus, it just feels good to clean the space. Along with cleaning surfaces, I would go ahead and say sweep, vacuum, do all of the things, and maybe find some of those surfaces that you don't often get to. For me, it's the second tier of these tables. They were so dusty. The next step is to optimize your storage solutions. Now, that's going to look different in each and every space, but you're going to want to find some creative storage solutions that fit what you have so that every craft supply has a place. A couple of my favorites are the home edit bins. This is the large bin, and this is, I believe, the medium bin. These work fantastic because they stack really well. They are clear, which allows you to see what is in them. That is a huge deal for me. It helps out so much. There are all kinds of ways that you can find to contain your supplies and make them the most functional for you. Some other ideas for organizing your space. I love clear drawers. These are clear acrylic drawers. You can find things like this at TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, or on Amazon, and they are great for organizing some of your smaller bits and pieces. That's the thing with crafting supplies is often they're little tiny bits and pieces to organize. So having drawer systems is a great idea in order to keep everything in its place. I also love surprising little bits of color. So having jars, organizing things in bright, colorful pieces can inspire you and go a long way to keeping your supplies organized. Of course, a pegboard is a great system that you can rethink and redesign over and over again to create a space where you can organize tools and supplies in a way where you can both see it and access it very quickly. Step 6, label everything. This is my P-Touch Embellish label maker. This is a really nice label maker from Brother that I love, has different fonts and sizes and all the different things. You don't need something this fancy, I guess you would say, a regular label maker, a Cricut machine, something like that to label your bins, label your spaces. This is going to go a long way to being able to maintain the organization of your space that you are establishing. Having everything labeled gives you a visualization of where things should go as you are cleaning up. Labels save you time not only in the cleanup process, but also in finding the supplies that you are looking for, especially when you see closed storage, things that you cannot see through. This allows me to easily find what I'm looking for in this very busy set of drawers so that I can save time in creating and in cleaning up. Labeling is also ridiculously helpful when you have a large category of items that you need to break up into smaller groups. For me, that means my Happy Planner sticker collection, which needs labels in order to figure out where everything could go, or else I would never ever find what I was looking for in this large collection of stickers. The next step to refreshing your space is to reconsider the layout or the workflow of your craft room. even just switching walls where things are located gives you a fresh perspective on creating. It gives you a new outlook into the room, and it can really spark a lot of inspiration as you begin a new year. It also is a great idea to consider workflow zones or work zones, thinking through the different types of crafting that you do. Do you want to create a zone that is just for paper crafting? Do you want to create a zone that is where you do your yarn work or your quilting? Does it make sense to have those like items organized together? I always think it does, as opposed to just seeing where everything fits. Thinking through how you like to create, where you like to create. Do you like to be able to grab and go and take things around the house, or do you like to stay in your craft space? Thinking about the flow of your space and how it comes together, and then considering maybe it's time to rearrange. Even if everything is functioning fine or okay, it might be nice to just try something new. Sometimes trying something new is going to remind you that what you used before worked just fine, and that totally works too. Moving some things around gives you, like I said, new perspective, and that will make a big difference as you start to work into your creative year. As you are revamping and refreshing your space in the new year, I want you to consider creating a display space for inspiration. This could be a pin board where you're pinning up pictures of inspiring projects or things you love. This could be a place like this. These are all books that inspire me, that I love to work on. It's where I put new planners. It's where I have art journal books. All the things that I love to look at when I'm feeling a little bit, I don't know, maybe in a rut creatively, I have displayed so that I can see them on a regular basis. Maybe you are pinning up pictures of friends and family, the people that you love creating for, or maybe you choose to display some of the beautiful projects that you created in the last year or the last years to spur you on towards more creativity in this new coming year. So take some time and figure out a space, a display space, somewhere where you can put some inspiration of the types of projects that you want to continue working on in 2025. And if you already have a display space like I do, it might be time to refresh, switch things out, put new things in front, put old things away. Make it feel like it is brand new to you, and that is going to be fantastic and give you kind of a breath of fresh air as you walk into your space. Step 9 for refreshing your space has to do with the maintenance of your space, and that is to create a plan for how you're going to continue this organization journey. Organization most definitely is not a one-time thing. It is something that you have to revisit over and over and over again. So making a definite plan on how you plan to work through your space throughout the year. This is what I'm meaning. So maybe there's one time a month that you are going to do a destash, a declutter. You're marking it in your planner. You're putting it on the calendar. You're going to spend an hour and a half going through your space, decluttering and letting go of things. Maybe there's a specific day of the week that you're going to come in and clean your space. For me, that is on Fridays. I love on Friday afternoons. Now, I work in my space all through the week. I love to clean up my space on a Friday afternoon and reset it for the weekend so that I am going into the weekend feeling fresh and excited and ready to do my own creative crafting, not just videos, but the things that I love to do when the camera is off. So I pick a specific time. It's also for me a wonderful transition from the work week to the fun weekend. So pick a time of the week, a day of the week that you're going to maintain your space throughout the year. Pick once a month that you're going to do a little decluttering. And that way, this time next year, you won't have quite the same amount of work to refresh your space and get it ready for 2026. All right, and step 10 is the best step, and that is to celebrate your space. And the best way to celebrate your space, choose a project and start creating. Don't stop with the cleaning and the refreshing and leave it as a museum to just watch. It's time to pick a project, get creative, have fun, enjoy your space, and be inspired by the refresh that you just completed. All right, as we wrap things up here, let's go over those 10 steps one more time. First, clearing the space, putting things away, starting with a blank slate. Step 2, sorting and organizing your different supplies into their appropriate categories. Step 3, purging the excess, getting rid of the things that no longer belong in your craft space. Step 4, actual cleaning of the surfaces, actually wiping things down. Step 5, optimizing your storage. Take a look at what you have, what you want to keep, what you want to build on as far as storage solutions this year. Label everything is step 6. That is vitally important and something you're definitely going to want to spend some time getting everything labeled for organization and ease. Step 7, rethink the layout of your space. Is it time to make some furniture moves? Do you need to change things up? Do you need to flip the room to give you a new way of looking at your space? Try it and see if it might work. Step 8, display some inspiration. Take some time, choose some inspiring pieces, pictures, projects, whatever it may be, even colors that you love, and display them in your room. Step 9, create a maintenance plan. How are you going to maintain your space throughout the month and throughout the year? And then step 10, celebrate. Celebrate your refresh, start to create, and dive in to 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video inspires you to take some time to refresh your craft room at the beginning of this year. If you have some refresh ideas, some go-tos that you like to do to get your space ready for a new season, a new year, a new project, I would love it if you would leave those comments down below. It's always amazing when this community kind of comes together and shares their knowledge, because there are some amazing people here that have been crafting and creating for a long time and have some tried and true processes that help them maintain their space. So leave those comments down below and check out the comments down below to gain some wisdom from your fellow crafters. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon community. We're actually spending the month of January getting ready for the year. We're setting goals and creating vision boards and organizing our spaces. And it's a great time to join us over there. So if you're looking for a creative community that's ready to cheer you on, head on over to patreon.com/ScrappyWife to find out more info. All right. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.